Hello, I'm Jasona Evans, the Open Data Manager at the National Library of Wales. Today I'd like to introduce you to our Wikibase for Welsh authority control. For a number of years, the library has been working closely with Wikimedia to share our content and knowledge on Wikimedia platforms, including Wikipedia, Wikimedia Commons, and Wikidata. So Wikidata is a bit like Wikipedia in that it aims to give access to all the world's knowledge. But rather than doing this through articles, it does it with linked open data. And many individuals and organisations have been busy sharing their datasets to Wikidata or aligning their data to existing Wikidata by adding their identifiers to the relevant items. The National Library of Wales sees this as a great way to enrich our data, to align it to data held by other organisations, and to make it available bilingually, since Wikidata allows you to label and describe data in over 300 languages, including Welsh. So we've been sharing our data about our digitised artworks, photographs and manuscripts as linked data, and we have seen how this can enrich our data. For example, if we match a place name, which is tagged in an artwork in our catalogue, to the item for that place in Wikidata, we get access to all the extra information that Wikidata holds about that place, like its location, the county, the country that it is part of, its name in Welsh and English, and the coordinate location for that place. And this means that we can create maps of places depicted in our image collections or places mentioned in manuscripts, for example. Over the last couple of years, our work with Wikidata has focused on aligning our authority records for archives and manuscripts to Wikidata. We found that at least half of the people in our authority records already had Wikidata entries. The process of matching our simple authority records to Wikidata has been fairly slow work. We've always felt that quality is more important than quantity when creating our linked data, and our work has focused on ensuring accurate matches and only creating new Wikidata items when we're really sure that that person isn't already in Wikidata. We've used tools like OpenRefine, which can help us suggest matches in Wikidata by trying to match the name and other elements in the data, like dates of birth or death, or perhaps a location. And this has helped speed things up a bit, but a lot of manual work is still needed. We've also worked with volunteers at the library and used the Mix and Match tool, which is a crowdsourcing tool on Wikidata where volunteers can search for matching items on Wikidata and it saves the alignment automatically. But unfortunately that tool doesn't seem to be working very well at the moment. Now, Wikidata has been great for helping us to enrich and to clean our data, but it also has its weaknesses. So data in Wikidata, of course, can be edited at any point by anyone, even if an expert has spent weeks getting that just right. Now, of course, this is Wikidata's greatest strength as a crowdsourcing platform, but from a library perspective, you want to be able to curate your own data and control how it's edited. And Wikidata caters for just about every type of data imaginable. And that means that its data model has got really complex, with thousands of properties for describing all the different things in the database. And the data structure is decided by the community at large, with the aim of it being useful for everyone. But this means that sometimes you can't describe the things that you have exactly as you would like. And this is why we decided to develop our own Wikibase. So Wikibase is the name of the software that's used to power Wikidata. So having your own Wikibase is like having your own personal version of Wikidata. You start with an empty database and you can build your own data model, add your own data, and you control who can edit that data set. But because it uses the same technology as Wikidata, it also comes with many of the same tools, like a Sparkle query service for asking complex questions of the data, an API for accessing and editing the data programmatically, and upload tools. And you can host your Wikibase locally, and there are companies that will build and host custom versions for you, or you can now request a pre-packaged cloud-hosted version from the Wikimedia Foundation, which is completely free to use, and it can literally be set up in 5 minutes. So our Wikibase is designed to host data about people, places and organisations with authority records at the National Library of Wales, as well as data about people and places in other datasets we hold, such as the Dictionary of Welsh Biography, and data about places in particular from other Welsh heritage institutions, such as historic monuments and buildings. Once the data has been reconciled with Wikidata, we add selected data from Wikidata to the Wikibase, along with data from our own datasets. So this is our Wikibase. It's called the Semantic Name Authority Repository Cymru, or SNARC for short. And we've designed this to be user-friendly so that the staff and public can use it to search and discover content. So here is an authority file for a person in our catalogue. As you can see, there isn't that much information here. And now here is the entry in SNARC for the same person. So the first thing you'll see is that we have the name and description of the person in both English and Welsh. And with this database, we've made sure that all the data is fully bilingual, so every piece of data has a Welsh language label and description. And then you'll see there's lots of information, much like Wikidata, about the person, their date of birth, place of birth, where they were educated, family relations. This person had lots of children and wives. And then you see some properties that you wouldn't see on Wikidata. So here we've got a short biography that was attached to our authority record for this person. And we've pulled that text into this environment, and we've created our own property, the short biography property, and placed that in this data set. We also pull in images from Wikimedia Commons so that we've got an image in the database. And then you see the Wikidata URI item. So this is how we link to the the equivalent item on Wikidata. We pull in some external identifiers like ISNI and VIAF from Wikidata. And then we have more bespoke properties. So we have the Dictionary of Welsh Biography identifiers in English and Welsh. So there's a Dictionary of Welsh Biography article about this person. Then we have all the National Library of Wales authority IDs. So you can see there's lots of duplicates here, and some of these look more like subject headings than authority files. So what we're doing is we're cleaning up, we're pulling all the records that we have in our database together, and this will help us clean up the data that we have in our own catalogue. And then another property that you won't see on Wikidata is the National Library of Wales media property. So where we've been able to tag people and places in images that we have in our collection using Wikidata, we can now pull that information in here, and we can click on any one of these and see the image for this person. So as you can see, we've linked to relevant images in our collection, and they are now connected to the authority records and all the other data that we hold about this person. We can do the same thing for any of the authority records on the list. We can go through and see the authority record in the library catalogue, and from there we can click any of the items associated with it to see their full catalogue record. So here's an item for a place, and you can see that once again we've used another custom property to state that the spelling of the place name is the form approved by the Welsh Language Commissioner, and we've worked closely with them to align their data to ours. Now, as I mentioned, Wikidata has grown so large that it has a very complicated and granular data structure, and we've tried to simplify that in our own Wikibase. So for example, on Wikidata there are many subclasses of universities and cities. But we have simplified this so that all types of city are just recorded as city, and the same for universities. But the great thing about Wikibase is that if you keep your data aligned to Wikidata by adding the corresponding Wikidata URI to your items, then you can use the query service to search across both datasets. So this query fetches all the cities from the Snark Wikibase and then searches Wikidata to filter the results to just the megacities. So we can still access all the really rich data from Wikidata without having to store it in our own Wikibase. Now you might be thinking that using that query service looks a little complicated, and obviously not everyone is able to write those kind of queries. So if we go back to the home page, you'll see that we've written many queries that people can use to explore the data. For people, for example, we can explore family trees, and we've discovered lots of people in our collections that are related thanks to Wikidata. And obviously before making that alignment, we had no idea that these people were connected in any way. And this query shows all people in the dataset with the surname Jones and the people that are related to them. And this is really a good demonstration of the scale and interconnectivity of the dataset. We can also use the query service to build custom searchable lists. So for example, here you can search poets by their pseudonyms. The dataset also contains about 60,000 places in Wales, and these can be explored on a map, for example. And this graph shows all the country estates in Wales, the houses connected with them, and the people who owned and lived in those houses. And this shows how our authority data has become connected to data for historical buildings and data about noble families from the Dictionary of Welsh Biography. And that really highlights our goal with the Snark dataset, which is to build this interconnected knowledge graph of Welsh cultural heritage data. And if you'd like to take a look at our Wikibase yourself, go to snark.llgc.wikibase.cloud, and please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or comments. Thank you very much for listening.